Shalom. I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops at Great Millstone who've taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the 100% truth out there on the highways and the byways, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning, the Akwatu. Also, I say Shalom. It is your brother, Atazaka Barbecker, with another lesson through the spirit. You know, I want to come at y'all with something, Lord willing, that's going to be edifying. I seen this video pop up on my feed. What was that, last night? And it was kind of intriguing. I'm in transit right now. But nonetheless, though, I want to play this clip for y'all. I do want to declare fair use. With that being said, though, you know, I find it funny how the things that brothers have been saying, you know what I'm saying, the prophets, you know what I'm saying, the Lord willing, we be the mighty man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the things that we've been saying have been coming more and more plain upon tables, as the scriptures say. And it's more and more evident, so evident that you cannot deny it at this point in time, right? You can't deny or even say that the things that we have been saying aren't true, because they're coming to pass and people really have no answers as to why the things that we're saying are coming to pass are coming true. They have no answers. They cannot give any more excuses. They cannot, they just don't know what to say, right? So with this clip, you're going to see it's becoming more and more present. It's becoming more and more known that these people have sold a dream to you, a false reality, and the fact that this place is indeed dying, which we've been saying was going to happen for years. So I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Does not exist. The only reason it existed before was because the US empire was at the peak of its imperialist power. Its control over the rest of the world was absolute, and by causing horrific suffering around the world, the US could provide luxuries for its citizens. Today, that control is slipping.
The capitalist wants to extract the greatest possible profits from their workers, and the workers want to be paid as much as possible for their labor. These two goals cannot be reconciled, and so there will always be conflict. The problem in hyper-capitalist countries like the United States is that the capitalist class has near complete control. They've destroyed unions, gutted labor protections, bought favorable legislation to make those practices easier, and are now able to make things worse and worse for the average person.
That's why you can't afford a home, or groceries, or a car. That's why you don't have any benefits. That's why every new job created is gig work. It's not because you're unlucky, or the country is just going through a rough spot, or the wrong person is in the Oval Office. This is how capitalism works. It will always be how it works. And it's why you will never be able to afford the American.
So, as you said, man, you know, this place has always been deemed as being a democracy. It's not a democracy. It's a capitalist society. Everything that you do runs off of money, right? Everything in this world is geared towards money, you know. And you had ancient societies that were that way as well. You look at Rome, they had some type of coin system or currency system going on, right? This isn't anything new, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Like you said, though, this isn't a rough patch or a rough spot. All the wicked deeds, if you want to go down to a baseline or a you know what I'm saying, one reason why this is happening, all of the wicked deeds that America has done, first and foremost to the Israelites, secondly to the other nations, is falling upon them, right? It's coming back on them. As the Lord mentioned and stated, return double unto her, right? Give unto her what she do unto her what she did unto you, pretty much. So as he said, he was stating that America has pretty much gained off the backs of these other nations and mistreating them and all the other stuff, right? in turn, the Lord is about to mistreat Babylon the Great, and it's already started, and it's going to continue. Is going to continue to. This nigga Donald Trump talking about sending over hypersonic missiles. That's, you know, we at the end. Esau Edom is lashing out in rage, Revelation 12:12, because he knows that his empire is crumbling. That likened unto a child in the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. As for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. That's Isaiah 3:12. So there isn't any surprise unto us as to why these things are going on or why they're taking place in the world, man. We said these things were going to happen. And most importantly, the Lord said they were going to happen from the beginning. The Lord declared the end from the beginning, man. So these people continue to live, and you continue to stay asleep and believe this American dream. Believe that, oh, things will be all right in the next few years. It'll all blow over. This isn't something that's just gonna blow over, y'all. I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. We're seeing a kingdom, an empire fall, and that happens in history. But we're at a point where Daniel 2 and 44 is about to take place, right? Lord's about to subdue the iron and clay kingdom, which is the revived Roman Empire, and replace it with a kingdom that cannot be moved. A kingdom that cannot be moved, man. So take it how you want. I want to go ahead and replay this video, and I'll probably go and get the definition of capitalism just so we can look into it. I was having a conversation with this Jake, with this Mo Jake, and these people really don't realize it's more pressing things going on in the world. More pressing things. I'm not even gonna go into what we talked about because it's really just folly, and it was just, sometimes you just gotta entertain foolishness. Not on this wasn't really based on like a biblical conversation, but it's just funny to hear the mindset of these people sometimes.
The American dream does not exist. The only reason it existed before was because the U.S. empire was at the peak of its imperialist power. Its control.
And I'm gonna just say this: the peak of the empire. America has been on a downslope since like the 60s or 70s, man. And I mentioned that to that dude. People don't realize, they're saying, oh, since the 21st century, since these last few years, America has been going down. No, it's not how the fall of an empire starts or even begins. It doesn't just happen abruptly. It happens over a span of time. So it hasn't just been happening for the past 5 years. No, more like the past 50 years, 60 years. You see these clips that he's playing, this is in black and white.
Control over the rest of the world was absolute. And by causing horrific suffering around the world, the U.S. could provide...
Causing horrific suffering around the world, right? They pursue blood, so blood's going to pursue them. How could you think you could get away with all of these atrocities on the earth and you never have to answer to anybody concerning it or have to pay your due diligence when it comes to getting, to receiving punishment for it? Now, yes, the Lord did put them in place as the sons of the wicked, and they did have a job, and they fulfilled their role past what they were supposed to fulfill it concerning them going overboard with the Israelites. But just because they had a role to fulfill does not mean that it's just going to be sunshines and rainbows, right? With good comes evil. So likewise, we had a role of being the sons of God, the sons of righteousness, and we went off as a people. So we're paying for those sins and the iniquity that we spread forth through the earth to this day, until the Lord sees it fit to send his only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach, to come down and deliver his people salvation. But these Edomites are definitely gonna have to receive a belt, right? You can't just be a badass kid and your parents never whipped you. or disciplined you.
luxuries for its citizens. Today, that control is slipping.
The capitalist wants to extract the greatest possible profits from their workers, and the workers want to be paid as much as possible for their labor. These two goals cannot be reconciled, and so there will always be conflict. The problem
We've already talked about this in lessons before, man. You know, the fact the price of goods is going up is nowhere near linear, or you could even say parallel to how much people are being paid, right? And that's just has to do with inflation, man. The price of goods has been going up, right? It's not like it just started. And of course, it had a little bit of a surge within these past 6 years, but it didn't just start 6 years ago.
in hyper-capitalist countries like the United States is that the capitalist class has near complete control. They've destroyed unions, gutted labor protections, bought favorable legislation to make
Damn, Salaki. Stupid shit. And then also just look at the people in place. They're wicked and corrupt, man. They're wicked and corrupt. And they spread forth iniquity throughout the land. I just thought about that when I seen Barack Obama on the screen.
The American dream does not exist. The only
and the workers want to be paid as much as possible for
its citizens. Today, that control is slipping.
the capitalist wants to extract the greatest possible profits from their workers, and the workers want to be paid as much as possible for their labor. These two goals cannot be reconciled, and so there will always be conflict. The problem in hyper-capitalist countries like the United States is that the capitalist class has near complete control. They've destroyed unions, gutted labor protections, bought favorable legislation to make those practices easier, and are now able to make things worse and worse for the average person.
That's why you can't afford a home or groceries.
Yeah, and it all blows back on the common people, normal people. Like I always say, man, the government does not give a fuck about you. If you're a civilian in this country, the government does not care about you. And people are going to start realizing that as well. You know, that's why you're going to see sedition among men take place on the earth. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. You have people, like I said, who are questioning why we even involved in a war with Iran. Like, what does it have to do with us? Amongst other things. The fact that the government is supposed to work for the people, and it isn't fulfilling its job and doing that.
Or a car. That's why you don't have any benefits. That's why every new job created is gig work. It's not because you're unlucky.
It's a continuous cycle of hell, man. It really is. And people are very tired of it. People are living paycheck to paycheck. They're working their asses off. They're literally working to live. People are working to live. That's a lot of people in America. People are literally working to live. Or living to work, excuse me. You wake up, all you can do is go to work. Because if you don't go to work, you're going to be on your ass. So that's literally all you can do in your life is work. That, King Solomon spoke about this during the book of Ecclesiastes. The vanity of labor, right? The fact that the Lord dealt man a bad hand. But that's just a part of the punishment once again. And very soon we're going to see there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be continually employed. Continual employment. There will be no unemployment in the kingdom. Boy, that nigga I just drove by was that nigga was goofy fat. Salaki.
Or the country is just going through a rough spot, or the wrong person is in the Oval Office.
That's why I say when people always talk about, oh well, if Kamala Harris was in office, we wouldn't be in this situation. Nah, y'all don't understand that. It even speaks about it in the scriptures to a point. Two horns controlled by the same head. Two horns controlled by the same head. You have blue and red, Republican, Democrat. Y'all think they make different decisions, yet they're controlled by the same boss. They work for the same person, so to speak. So it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered who was in office. Now, could it have been a different outcome as far as how quickly these things came to pass or how it came to pass, yeah, but it was going to be the same result in the end.
It's how capitalism works. It will always be how it works, and it's why you will never be able to afford the American dream does not.
So the American dream, man, we've seen people, a lot of people nowadays, patriotism is dead, which is why they even have to implement a draft. People are not willing to die for this country. That's how you know that there is another reason why there's a big problem in this country, man. No patriotism. And rightfully so. You know, the horrors and the atrocities and the wickedness that this place has committed comes to light every single day. And people are looking at it and saying that is not okay, it's not right. And unfortunately, that American dream has hindered a lot of people's perception into realizing that all these people that America has warred with, had beef with, or saying is bad, they're actually not bad. It's really America being a bully to other nations. And it's going on for quite too long. So once the Lord says, all right, y'all done had y'all fair share of this rulership, he's gonna step in and put that stuff to silence. So believe it if you want to, or don't believe it, man. You know, the Lord is gonna turn things up in these coming days, man. May Day was yesterday, so I didn't even speak on that in my lesson, but May Day was yesterday. And you know, it's wartime for these Edomites. So like I said, you know, Donald Trump talking about putting out hypersonic missile. The Elder Apostle Tuhar did a lesson on that yesterday or today. Probably was yesterday. Wow, I seen it today. And it's gonna be a hot summer. Like I said, it's gonna be a hot summer going into fall, and then fall going into a cold winter. So hey man, Lord willing, we're up out of this place soon, man, because as the scriptures say, if those days were not shortened, no flesh would be saved. We most definitely need salvation. So with that being said, I want to close it off there by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone once again, who have taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And matter of fact, well, as always, man, enduring to the end. Shalom.